your next steps. Pray for knowledge, strength and guidance. Life is throwing you a test. It's a lot of dirty players who ain't worried about a rep, but you got brothers who are shooters, and I'm looking like I'm Steph. Looking like I'm Steph Curry, nigga. You know I love you, right? You know I love you, right? I gotta love you, right? You know I love you, right? You know I love you. On them, lay on them till the spirit get them. Keep my hands clean, stay focused and do my damn thing. Been running rich without pulling the hamstring.
Ooh, that was nice, bro. That was nice. Listen to that.
Welcome to Sunday Sit Down. Can I have you state your name and occupation?
My name is Drazz Zhay. My occupation is audio engineer, producer, musician, and technician last.
And how long have you been in the game?
1978. I started, I had a little DJ crew back in the day. So we started out making little mixtapes. Back then a mixtape was something totally different than it is today. But I was real good at it.
Yeah.
So that's where I got my little interest in swag.
Yeah. What's the difference between now and then on mixtape?
Okay. When we made a mixtape, it was a DJ putting together a playlist primarily of his mixes. And featured MCs on the tape. Whether it was one or more than one, it was recorded, and that was pushed in the streets as a quintessential mixtape. So, following that through the years, as the big system, and that when I say the big system, that's a DJ rig, party rig, where you go out and do parties and handle, you know, massive crowds of people for entertainment purposes, transitioned into an artist. The focus became more on an artist. The artists themselves adapted the mixtape term and branded it the release of a very similar product as their own. You know what I'm saying? As their mixtape. So now the feature is not the DJ, the feature is the artist.
Yeah. Okay. It even progressed since then, because 50 Cent basically remixed the mixtape again. At first it was just like how the DJ would like I said, mix different things. He just would have his own label on there. Mixtapes sounded like albums.
So now, today, what I do primarily is furnish the environment for the creation of the mixtape. This is the Spittbox. Okay? The brand is Spittbox Music. Drazz on the beat, Drazz on the board. Any kind of way you need me, post-production, mixing, mastering. You know, my editing is sick. You know what I'm saying? I go sick with it. And all of that I do today came from yesterday. I guarantee you, and I can prove it.
Right. Well, that's a perfect segue. Like, what are your music influences?
I have such an eclectic interest in like music. Like, there's nothing that my ear will turn away from. But I'm heavily influenced by, believe it or not, 50s music. My father was a 50s icon. This group was known as the Five Discs. They were a doo-wop group. They had top 10 hits in 1958. And as a youngster coming up, you know, after he became a father, he kind of backed away from his musical endeavors. I don't know if it was good or bad, but he did it for us primarily. Yes. He's incredible, man. So listening to his music growing up, I found something in it, you know what I mean, that spoke to me. It was like these voices coming together, a cappella. Sometimes they would have accompaniment, musicians, but the essential, feeling and emotion of the music was one that was good natured. You know what I mean? There wasn't nothing harsh about it. There wasn't nothing derogatory about it. It was all about feeling good and creating a mood to have a good time, whether it's going out and have a dance or whatever, or they used to have nickel parties and stuff, or waistline parties, and the guys that used to sing on the street were the features. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Well, my pops was lucky enough to get signed, and that's a whole nother interview, bro. Really, but that's my first and foremost musical influence was from my pops.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So as I get a little bit older, I'm start listening to what my mom's is listening to. And back then, she was listening to Aretha Franklin. She was listening to a lot of jazz, Miles Davis, Thelonious Monk, different MJQ. She used to love jazz music. She still does, as does her sibling, her brother.
Right.
They were both jazz heads. So listening to, and then she used to listen to like Nikki Giovanni, and just like, yo B, start that record over. You know what I mean? like that was it, man. We stayed around the stereo, bro. We stayed around that stereo, man. I mean, like, it was crazy. I could tell you like my life story through my stereo, man.
Right.
All right, so those were primarily my first and foremost influence musically.
Right.
I have to mention Elise Hunter, my great grandmother. She's the first person who took my young hands and placed them on the keyboard, and she showed me how to play a little ditty. As a youngster, you know what I mean? And there's where the fusion started to happen.
Right.
From what I was hearing to what I was doing, you know what I mean? And from that created the nucleus of really what I'm doing today.
Right.
There's not a time that I sit down and create a beat that you don't hear my nana's influence. You don't hear the influence of my dad, my mom.
Yeah.
But I can't stop there, because I have, throughout the years been involved in, like musical endeavors with bands that I've been in, and just, a lot of different exposures, like with, I used to be in a rock band, I used to be in a R&B group, you know what I'm saying? And we just did a whole lot of different things over the years, so all of that influenced me.
Right, sorry to cut you off,
Yeah.
but I hear you talk about family a lot. Like, where do y'all come from?
That's a mixture, like, of complete craziness, okay? On my mother's side, she's got so much in her, man. Like, she's got Trinidad, she's got Guyana, British Guyana, you know what I'm saying? England, Scotland, all mixed into this melting pot, of who she is. And she's a great woman, you know what I'm saying? But on my father's side, he's got what I call black Portuguese. Okay? Because if you ever go to a Portuguese country, or state, you know what I'm saying, like over there, there's like, Cape Verde Islands, there's different places you can go. You'll see different complected Portuguese. Dark-skinned ones, and very, very light, fair-skinned ones that look like they could be white.
Right.
When the slaves were taken off of the coast of Africa, one of the first ports that they stopped in was Portugal. There are a lot of slaves that stayed in Portugal. gave life to the black Portuguese. I believe my father is a descendant of that. So on the other half of him, straight hood. Okay, his mother was from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't know too much about her background, but I remember her being a great lady and somebody who could, you know, definitely, you know, hold her own. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's basically from what I know about where we're from. Now, my mom did actually a family tree. It has much more detail. Of course, I don't have that committed to memory, but just at a glance, that's where we're from.
Right.
You said you were talking about some of the things you were doing back then, like being in the rock band, things of that nature. What are the things you're doing now? Like I know you're doing things in hip hop. What some of the artists you mentioned with now?
Right.
Tracks you dropping?
Okay. So to here today, I mean, primarily, you know, I definitely got to give a shout out to my partner, Luqman Hunter. He is very, very instrumental in what I'm doing here today, because part of the responsibility is his. You know, when I was first starting out here in the city that I'm in, which is, well, let's say I'm in North Carolina. You know, he helped me to establish myself as almost like a brand. Helped me to equip myself, and he saw the vision. You know what I mean? So everything that I do with him in mind, and that's real.
That's respect. That's love.
So yeah, and I'm hoping, you know, real soon that we can. Going back to that story about my nana who taught me that little ditty. Many years ago, I taught him the same ditty, that little song. It's called Love, and the name of the song was called Love, and I showed him how to play it. So we would sit side by side on the piano as boys and just play it all day. And I long for that day to come again where I could sit in a studio, this studio, any studio, with him and create again, you know, like we used to do. You know, throughout the years, we have always created together. You name it, we've done it.
How would you describe y'all chemistry?
Oh man, he's like, I don't know, he's a force to be reckoned with, and he always poses a challenge to me, and I'm a challenge hoarder. I love taking on a good challenge, you know what I mean? And sometimes he just brings out the complete, like, such a natural response, like unplanned, completely spontaneous response, like just by what he's doing on the keys, you know. And I'll you know, either chime in, but we're always in a Q&A. You know, like he'll ask a question and I'll deliver an answer. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it don't matter if I'm on a guitar, bass, whatever. You know what I mean? It's always a good environment. So without his help, I would not be able to deliver the service that I provide today. My primary interest is to help the young artists, the older artists, it doesn't matter, but I'm really, you know, really concerned about the young guys because, you know, they primarily have us, the older cats, to look up to, and if we're not giving them the right experience in this very, very intimate exchange, the creative process is a very intimate place, bro. It's where I get to see all your secrets, all your lies, all your love, all your hate, right in that little bubble, you know what I'm saying? And that is where cats are vulnerable, man. And if we're not giving them the right message, you know, they're gonna manifest what we put into it. You know what I mean? So the older cats, you know, they're pretty well set in their ways, and a lot of them have mellowed out with age. but it's the younger cats that come in here ready to rip holes in the wall, ready to murder the microphone, ready to truly break it if they could, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's because of the passion, you know what I mean? Those are the ones that I really try to focus on, and I let them get all that off their chest, you know what I mean? And I stay with them, and I nurture it out of them. I say, I want you to give it to me like you're hearing it in your head. It can't be out of my head, it's gotta be out of your head.
What about a person gives you the cue to say, okay, this is the guy I want to invest in and give my time to? And like you said, nurture.
Right. And it's basically like this. I can meet somebody today, and after we have our little meet and greet and our Q&A about what we're going to be doing, can determine how many sessions I'm gonna get out of that guy.
Right.
I'm gonna get him in here probably 2 or 3 times, and that's gonna be it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I have pretty well determined that this is not really what he wants to do. This is something he's doing because his squad is doing it.
Right.
His gang is doing it. His clique is doing it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and that's all good. You know what I'm saying?
But it feels more like a phase.
To answer your question, whether he's somebody I'm willing to invest in or is worthy of the investment or not, I give him all the same love. I give him all the same love because they deserve it, the music deserves it, and you don't want anybody trying to come out of here, you know, half-cocked, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's not just a representation of them, it's a representation of the engineer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I had to learn that over time, you know what I mean? Because, you know, like, believe it or not, I started out in a flea market, you know, here in Greensboro. And, you know, it was like, cats would come to me at the flea market and then record, and it was like a little, like, $25 a song type thing or whatever, you know, they come in, do their song, and then ran straight to YouTube with it. You know what I'm saying? It was like, wow, who recorded that, bro?
Yeah.
That guy at the flea market. Right. You know what I'm saying? And other producers would come in, engineers would come in and ask me, like, they wanted to sound like that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to develop a way to deliver a product in a limited amount of time that was, you know, worthy of them leaking it, promoting it, putting it out on the strength of a recording session. I couldn't guarantee that it was going to come back for post-production. Of course, I mean, any reasonable engineer would be like, okay, today we're going to record, we're going to capture the audio, and I'm going to need you to come back for post-production where we'll edit it, we'll go through, make sure everything is everything, mix it real tight, master it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, you know, we get you know, payday both times. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But other business models are different than mine. You know what I'm saying? Some cats do it. They record you, and they'll say, "Yeah, I'll send it to you," or something like that, or whatever. I don't know what they charging up front, but my rates are extremely modest. To download, I keep it for the starving student to be able to come in here. A lot of my guys are college students, and this is home away from home. This is their place to decompress. You know what I mean? I have never ever had a problem with anybody in their street lifestyle being unfolded in here. They check that at the door. They bring respect for the old man when they come up in here, and that is really no price you can put on that. I have loyal people that come to me. You know what I mean? And they respect me. And then now that I'm able to, you know, render a recording session that sounds like, you know, man, you know what I'm saying? This sounds real good. You know, now the other cats out in the field are like, yo, let's see what Drazz is doing. You know what I'm saying? You know, let's see what Drazz is doing now. You know what I'm saying? Because like I told you before, my edit game is sick. You know, and I'm doing that, and I'm actually doing that while you're in the booth. You know what I mean? So in real time. So I still recommend a mastery session, but if you don't, my name is intact.
Right.
You good.
Yeah,
my name is intact. You know what I mean? As long as I, do what I have to do. Everything is Gucci.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Earlier you spoke on you're the type of person that you enjoy challenges. What would you say is one of the biggest challenges you had in your career, in your process?
In this musical process? Well, I've met many challenges over the years, but I guess one of the most recent challenges I had that I would say was quite a big one would be to have and I've had this situation, okay? I got clients. Right now I probably got 250 active clients, right? Okay. Having a piece of equipment go down and you got a calendar full for the week. One of the biggest, stressful situations is not to turn people away. You know what I mean? You gotta keep that bread coming in. You got expenses, you got overhead or whatever, and you know what I'm saying? Like have a piece of equipment go down, like a laptop. You know what I mean? I had some pretty close calls. You know what I mean? Like I'm like conducting a session on a lick and a prayer, man. Like, I'm like on like, whoa, man. I don't even know what's about to happen. And I often sometimes have celebrities in here. You know what I'm saying? So, you got to be at your best, especially when you got a celebrity, in the building and an entourage of people who are plugged into the industry through that celebrity. You want them to come away from the experience with a positive vibe, because if they don't, then you are, pretty much assed out.
Do you feel comfortable saying any celebrities you can do?
Oh, sure. Okay, let's see. I have worked with Project Pat, Michael Montana. You know that dude? You know who that is? Back about 2-3 summers ago, he had a song called I Like the Way You Do It. Do it. Yeah. He was in here. I got like pretty good amount of recordings done with him. He was in here like doing features one day, and the cats was playing like 3 bands just to for him to drop on their track each. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And I got like 3 mixtapes with Project Pat, man, that sitting on my hard drive, man, and like the feature that the guy that was supposed to be coming out with him just disappeared, man. I don't know what happened, but I got all this material, man. I'm thinking about putting out a tape just on that stuff, like the archives, you know what I mean? I have a plug into the Spanish reggaeton genre. I have worked with many celebrities in that genre, from cats out of Daddy Yankee's camp, DJ Dicky, Treble Clan, OG Black, Chinito. Chinito was the first cat to do a reggaeton rap. Okay, he's the father of it. Then, man, we did some serious work up in here with him. You know what I mean? His English is pretty good. Some of the cats don't speak any English, but I know what they want, because of the game. You know what I'm saying? I know what they want. Absolutely. One channel, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's all a universal language, this music, man. It don't matter what language you speak, we're gonna get it done. So, yeah, that's just to name a few of the people I've been in here with and done some incredible work with. And, looking forward to do many more. Just the other day, I had a pro basketball player in here. At one point he was a Tar Heel, and due to personal reasons, he left the Tar Heels and started playing internationally. And now, ironically, we're talking about Portugal before. He's playing for a team in Portugal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man, so he's getting his paper that way. and he's a beast out there. Like yo, Willie Graves is his name. Google him, bro. Willie Graves. He's a monster. Yeah. And his music. Oh my God. He's straight from the South, right? But if I tell you, my niggas up in Brooklyn and New York, they love this guy because of the way he sounds. He sounds like he's straight from the bricks, man, from up top, man. I don't know what it is, but he's got this swag, man, in his vocal that's really, really something and takes me home. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Willie Graves, Willie G. Look for him, man, on Google, man. He's the dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's some advice that you would give?
Okay. The biggest piece of advice, and this goes across the board to everybody, is if we determine that we have working chemistry and you know we're gonna do a project together, don't let another man challenge or change your belief system. If you lay down your bars and you put your heart into it, and at the end of that session you fucking with it, you really, really fucking with it. You like, yo, I'm feeling this. This is hard. You know what I'm saying? And you go to your homeboy and you show it to him, and he's like, yeah, that's alright. Not your best. And then on the strength of that, you fold on your own belief system. It breaks my heart. It really does. It breaks my heart because, you know what I'm saying, I saw you creating. I saw you deliver it. I saw you put it together. And, you know, you let somebody else's influence. Now, sometimes the people close to us are not able to handle what we share with them because they may not be able to do it themselves. Okay? And their first reaction is usually their best reaction, and they're gonna be like, wow, you know what I'm saying? That is dope, but you know what I'm saying? I wish I would have did it. You know what I'm saying? And then you know, because you know it's a lot of brotherly love, you know what I'm saying? Bros over whatever. You'll have an artist just like Fold and be like, nah, let's do something else. You know what I mean? And as the OG in the house, I mean, like I'll pull him aside. You know, what do you think about what you just did? Honestly, now forget about what he said, what they said. What do you think about what you did? We'll go out in the hallway and we'll talk about it. I owe it to them to do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's to answer your question. The message, the biggest message, really doesn't have nothing to do with the music, but everything to do with the music. Don't let another man challenge your belief system. If you believe in yourself, you believe in what you just did, let them see a man or a woman who believes in what they just did before you present it to them. You know what I'm saying? Let them see that shine through you, because you know what I'm saying? They're already accepted before they even hear it. Absolutely. You see? Yeah. So that's what I like to give them. I do work by appointment only. So, you know, like if somebody introduces you into the fold and it's good working chemistry, then it's on. You feel me? Yeah. But you know, we definitely weed out the yoky doke by doing it that way. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely.
But what you want to leave them with?
Basically, if I could tap into what I had said before, if you're an artist and you believe in your work, you believe in what you're doing, don't let another man or another individual change that thought process. That belief system needs to be fully intact. It doesn't matter if your music doesn't sound good. If you believe that it does, they're gonna see an artist who believes his music sounds good, and they're gonna geek off your shit regardless. Okay, all right. So there, you know, that's my message to anybody. You know what I mean? Let your homies it's all love, but again, sometimes people can't handle what you share with them if they're unable to attain it themselves.
Right.
So keep that in mind as you in and out of them different studios and doing your thing, and you're expressing yourself. Your art is an extension of yourself, and don't allow anyone to shape that other than you, the artist. So
I appreciate you, Drazz Zhay.
Drazz Zhay.
It's been a good day, a good Sunday sit down.
Yes.
That's dope. That's dope.
Got some coming out. Ja'Quan, I'm running the interview with man, the homeboy. We definitely got some shit to shine for you. Gotta open our eyes to, man, and really feel. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the introduction, man. Shit, man. So hey, man. I'm just working, man. Just working. Like you gonna see it.
Rather ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. Living past our limits.